I took the vaccine because I want the in-person audience experience at Sugar Mass 50.
I took the vaccine because I want to be performing with all my peoples on Ultra Truck this year for Carnival.
I get vaccinated because I want to be on the road for Sugar Mass 50.
The reason I chose to be vaccinated is because of my profession as an entertainer, for us to have a safer birth to Carnival.
I am DJ Flame, and I got vaccinated because I want Sugar Mass 50 to be greater than ever.
I took the vaccine because I miss entertaining thousands of people and I miss hosting my own events. See you at Sugar Mass 50. Boom.
Get vaccinated quickly to set up Sugar Mass 50.
In the top stories, senior health official and attorney general to join Prime Minister Harris on leadership matters tonight. Vaccinations continue at VC Bird International Airport, and Germany, France, Italy and Spain halt use of AstraZeneca vaccine. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today's Tuesday, the 16th of March 2021. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, on tonight's episode of Leadership Matters, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris will be joined by Medical Chief of Staff at the JNF General Hospital, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, and Attorney General the Honorable Vincent Byron. It is expected that the discussion will center around COVID-19 and the vaccination rollout campaign. Leadership Matters will start at 8 p.m. and simulcasts on ZIZ Radio and other participating radio stations. It is also streamed live on social media platforms, including the Facebook and YouTube pages of the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris has singled out the church for the role it has been playing and continues to play in the fight against COVID-19. Speaking at the Keon Church of God on Sunday, Prime Minister Harris commended the church, saying that the churches and their leadership have been some of the most supportive and disciplined in, quote, application of the COVID-19 protocols that have helped keep us safe so far, end quote. According to Prime Minister Harris, even before lockdown measures were instituted in the Federation, some of the churches had begun to practice social distancing protocols. On Sunday, the Keon Church of God hosted a COVID-19 vaccination session facilitated by General Surgeon Dr. Natalie Osborne under the theme, Getting Vaccinated Against COVID-19. Should I take it or should I not? End quote. 15 members of the Volunteer Corps media team are undergoing a series of training to enhance their skill and understanding of video recording and editing, photography, social media, copywriting, graphic design, and information reporting. The training started on February 6 and is held several times a week. All of the students attend the main session on Saturdays, where general concepts are covered. Courses in the various classes are then held throughout the week for members assigned to respective areas such as photography and news reporting. The classes are conducted by industry professionals. Director of Youth Empowerment, Pierre Liebert, said this training is the most in-depth session to date, as the department seeks to employ a more robust promotional strategy for its programs and activities. Corps members usually work alongside the department to document undertakings such as beach cleanups, tree plantings, workshops, and more. The main partner in this initiative is Nadia Mills of Food for Creative Souls. Ms. Mills has a relationship with a U.S.-based company that provides mentors to work virtually with the youth volunteers. Mr. Liebert noted that the partnership is very fruitful, with plans to continue strengthening the relationship with ongoing collaborations. This is particularly important as new volunteers are inducted into the Corps every year. At the close of the course, slated for the end of March, the media team will host and produce a live stream on Facebook. The 15 volunteers will share stories about the intense training experience during the online broadcast. We now move to news on the regional scene. In Antigua and Barbuda, nearly 500 frontline workers based at the VC Bird International Airport were vaccinated against COVID-19 over the last week. As the country reflects on the past year, the safety of its frontline workers will be crucial as they look towards the future. ABS's Raghib Aparicio reports.
In a press release issued to the media Sunday, the Antigua and Barbuda Airport Authority says a total of 473 people availed themselves to their first jab of the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. COVID-19 vaccination at the VC Bird International Airport began Tuesday with employees of the Antigua and Barbuda Airport Authority, along with other members of the airport community. These include airline staff, concessionaries, ground handlers, taxi drivers, red caps, and tour companies. The willingness of staff to get vaccinated struck a chord particularly with President of the Antigua and Barbuda Airline Association, David Isaac. Quote, with the airport serving as Antigua's only gateway, it was extremely crucial that airline employees as members of the frontline team of workers in the travel industry be inoculated, end quote. Reflecting on the tumultuous 12 months since the pandemic began, CEO of the Antigua and Barbuda Airport Authority, Letta Francis, is praising her team for their dedication. Quote, in March 2020, the pandemic forced the closure of our borders. I am mindful that we are at this point having come through an extremely challenging year. I am indeed grateful that employees who have sacrificed so much and overcame their worst fears during a difficult time got this important layer of protection in the fight against COVID-19, end quote. The airport authority says operations at the international airports continued unimpeded by the vaccination process. Raghib Aparicio reporting for ABS News.
Guyanese who are 50 years old and below are next to receive the COVID-19 jab following the current inoculation process of approximately 65,000 Guyanese aged 60 years and over. Tamika Rodney of HGP News has the details.
The Health Ministry has noted the overwhelming response to the vaccination exercise for persons 60 years and older.
In a press release issued to
The Health Ministry has noted the overwhelming response to the vaccination exercise for persons 60 years and older, which moved into the second part of Phase 1 last Wednesday. According to the ministry, over 2,000 senior citizens have received their first dose of the Oxford AstraZeneca and Sinopharm vaccines. And while Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony is confident that the country is on target so far to having a significant percentage of its elderly population protected against severe illness caused by the virus, he indicated that following that, persons from other age groups will have their chance to be immunized. He was at the time speaking during the daily COVID-19 update on Monday.
Once we have completed this age group, then we'll go to other age groups. So we'll then lower it maybe to 50 and above, and then we'll drop it to 40 and above, and so forth. The challenge, however, is making sure that we have adequate supplies of vaccines, and we have been working to ensure that we get a constant flow of vaccines.
In addition to the 103,000 vaccines that were donated to Guyana by the governments of Barbados, China, and India over the last few weeks, the country is expected to receive 108,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine from the COVAX facility. These doses, once received, are likely to be used to immunize persons with underlying conditions and teachers according to the current vaccination plan. However, President Irfan Ali, during an address to the nation on Saturday, informed that 1 month has elapsed since the government's last interaction with the COVAX facility in relation to its pledge of 108,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. As such, he was unable to provide an update on when the vaccines will arrive in Ghana. COVAX, an initiative co-led by the World Health Organization, which provides equitable access to vaccines by third world countries, had initially committed to delivering the vaccines during the first quarter of this year. Additionally, President Ali disclosed that the government has submitted all the necessary documents to the African Union vaccine mechanism and is awaiting a response in relation to the supply of COVID-19 vaccines. The government has also finalized the procurement of 200 doses of the Russian Sputnik V vaccines, which are anticipated to arrive within 14 days.
Within 2 weeks, we'll get a forest shipment of 50,000, and every 2 weeks following that,
we'll get shipments of 50,000 until we get to the 200 doses that we'll have ordered from Sputnik.
Russia's Sputnik V coronavirus vaccine provides approximately 92% protection against COVID-19. Several other vaccine sources are also being explored to ensure that there is adequate supply to immunize at least 80% of the country's population. Tamika Rodner reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Internationally, France, Germany, Spain and Italy have joined several other European countries in suspending use of the AstraZeneca vaccine after reports emerged of blood clots in people who had been inoculated on the continent. But the World Health Organization and the European Union's medicines regulator, the EMA, say they have seen no evidence linking the clotting to the shots. An EU-wide decision on the vaccine is expected later this week. Al Jazeera's Dominic Kane reports.
This is a vaccine that divides opinion. In some countries, it's a large part of the strategy to combat COVID. In several others, it's been linked to blood clots in some patients and is now suspended from use. Across Europe, a succession of governments has called for more research to be carried out.
The decision which has been taken in conformity with our European policy is to suspend, as a precaution, vaccinations with the AstraZeneca vaccine in the hope that we can resume quickly if the EMA gives the green light.
In Germany too, senior ministers have acted to stop its use, again as a precautionary measure, meaning mass vaccination centres such as this one here at Berlin's Old Tempelhof airport are now closed. The many doses of AstraZeneca vaccine within its walls are now in storage, pending a decision by the European Medicines Agency later this week. The contrast to this uncertainty in the UK is stark. There, the use of AstraZeneca has been greatest, and for the Prime Minister, there are no such doubts.
We have one of the toughest and most experienced regulators in the world. They see no reason at all to discontinue the vaccination program and they are for any of the vaccines that we're currently using, either of the vaccines that we're currently using. They believe that they are effective, highly effective in driving down not just hospitalization but also serious disease and mortalities.
The nub of the issue is about the way AstraZeneca interacts with the human body. According to the EMA, from around 5 million doses administered to date, there are reports of a few dozen patients developing blood clots, with some individuals having died, although as yet no link between the vaccine and their deaths has been proved. The World Health Organization and the EMA say the benefits of continuing to use AstraZeneca's product far outweigh the potential risks. But around many European capitals there is now fresh doubt. What is certain is that suspending the use of AstraZeneca will slow their vaccination programs. Dominic Kane, Al Jazeera, Berlin.
We now move on to weather. Current conditions are cloudy with light showers. Winds are a gentle breeze of 10 miles per hour from the northeast. The temperature is 22 degrees Celsius or 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are moderate with waves not exceeding 4 feet. The weather forecast for today in St. Kitts and Nevis says to expect cloudy skies with a 60% or moderate chance of showers, and for tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Sunset today will be at 6:21 p.m., sunrise tomorrow at 6:17 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Davis.